Sorry to interrupt. I lost the audio again, Linda.
We're just muted. Are you there now?
Can you hear us now?
We're good again. Thanks.
Okay.
All right, yeah, we're about to get started. All right, so everybody's here, ready. We've got Jimmy Franklin on, he's on Zoom with us, so he's out of town, I believe, but he's here so he can participate with us. I'll go ahead and call to order the regular council meeting for the town of Tallulah Falls for May 9th, 2024, and we will open with a moment of silence. Amen. All right, need to get a motion to approve the agenda. Scott makes the motion. Mike seconds, all in favor? Unanimous?
In favor.
Okay, completely unanimous. All right, then I need a motion to approve to accept the consent agenda. Mike, Scott makes the motion, Mike seconds, all in favor? Waiting
In
for
favor.
Jimmy. All right, that's unanimous. All right, we don't have an attorney report tonight. So we'll go ahead and move on to the public hearing for our fiscal year 2025 budget. And we've made that available to the public. The rules will be that we have we don't go over it first, we just allow for public comment. Correct? Okay. Is there anything that we need to go over with those of you who are here? Who's on Zoom with us? Just Jim? All right. Okay, I'm gonna give 5 minutes per side. And I'll open it up to those in favor of the budget as it's presented. I'm in favor. All right, for public comment. Sorry. And so if anyone would like to speak in favor of the budget, now's your time.
Well, I guess I will.
Okay.
I mean, we, Susan and I were here at the workshop. It seems like it's reasonable and they've just done their homework very, very well.
So everyone speaking in favor?
Are there any changes from what was got when we did the workshop?
Just the changes that were discussed at the workshop.
All right. Not seeing any more public comment. I will go ahead and close out the portion for in favor and go to those that are opposed to the budget. And not seeing any that are opposed, I'll go ahead and close out the public hearing for the fiscal year 2025 budget and go back into our regular council meeting. We don't have any old business. On the new business, we have a budget amendment for the special revenue fund. We had an incident. It wasn't last week, it was week before last, where we used one of the new drones, the one for Havisham. And they didn't realize when they made their order that it didn't come with the equipment that they were desiring. They thought it was factory because that's what Raven County had got. And what happened was it came with a single, I guess, a gimbal mount, is what they call it. So the Havisham County unit came with a single gimbal mount, where Raven County had spec'd a double gimbal mount. What this means is that they can't attach more than one external device at a time. So what we ran into is we need to send some drugs down for pain management for a guy dislocated his shoulder. And we need to send some medication down to the medics to take care of that so that he could walk out. And he walked out on his own. But that meant we had to take a camera off the drone in order to mount the grapple. Which meant that the only way the pilot could see anything was straight forward. So he's having to fly and we've got a guy on the ground trying to communicate and it took longer to get the stuff there. Whereas with Raven County's drone, we've done this before with the drone we got through them. They have the camera mounted and they've got the grapple hook. So the pilot's able to get right down exactly where he needs to be. He sees who's catching the package and he's able to release without any problem. So that's why this came in, was as a result of that. And the gimbal mounts only like 100 and something. I forget what it was, 160, 100. Something. And then he said, well, since we're doing this, I'd also like to get a couple extra batteries, spare batteries to have with it. And I felt like that was a reasonable ask. So,
250 was the,
250. Okay.
Now, are we amending the 2023 budget for that?
2020, the budget we're in now, not the one we just had the public hearing on. Yeah, oh, there it is. Over the wrong page. So that's the, was there another? That was the only amendment on that, wasn't there?
only a
There
minute.
it is. I did. That's the only amendment to that category, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so we're asking that we amend the 2024 budget out of the special revenue fund for a $1,650 purchase for the drone assigned to Habersham County. So any other questions, concerns? I'll get a motion. Mike makes that motion, Scott seconds, all in favor. Got 3. Did we lose Jimmy? Jimmy there? No, we lost Jimmy. Okay, that's fine. It'll be 3. Jimmy, we'll just say abstained. All right, then we need need a general fund amendment for fiscal year 2023, 2024. Let Linda
This,
fill in on that.
this is for the prior year, this,
Oh, this is for last year.
mhm.
Okay,
So Jolie is working on the audit that we had, for the settlement. It's coming out different than it came out in our books, so we need to amend that budget to make sure that it's,
okay.
That's administration. yes. So it's just one line item for the 12,500.
I'll make a motion to accept it.
Okay, Scott makes the motion, Mike seconds. All in favor? Jim's back. That's 3. Jimmy, are you with us? We'll say that.
Yes,
Oh,
Yep, there you go.
did you catch the amendment for the 2023 budget? We were just talking about?
yes,
Okay, we had a motion and a second. We have 3 in favor.
sorry, in favor.
All right, there we go. Unanimous. All right, the next item on the agenda got put on kind of because of a little bit of miscommunication. But I went ahead and left it on so that we could at least get an update. The grant from DOT that we looked at and applied for. DDA and Susan have been working on and working with that group to see if there's a way that it might apply in town, where there's a way we can actually take advantage of it. There was one point last year, I don't remember exactly when, that we basically in our conversations unofficially said, yeah, this doesn't seem like it's gonna work for us. But then there was a suggestion that we looked to see if it would apply toward a footbridge over the lake. We could use it there. And so we kept it alive. There is no hard timeline right now on when to accept it and when to go forward. But we've been contacted over time asking, hey, where are we? You know, you guys still thinking about it or have you forgotten about us? Kind of things. So that brought this up and I had answered and had basically said that I didn't know if we were still interested in pursuing it. But then I got an email from Mary Beth saying, yes, we're still interested. So we're still looking at it. They're still pursuing it, not we, it's more them. And more, but a lot more Susan. So
But
anyway,
to add some detail. Our most recent meeting with the Georgia DOT, we had the local Gainesville office and the grant. The people who execute the grant and manage the grant and do all the work with the grant. We tried to get the local office to help us guide the grant people into, this is what we really need for this rail trail. And the grant people just have this boilerplate template that they're gonna use and they can't deviate. It doesn't suit the needs for designing,
It's made for roadways.
yeah, it's made for roadways. But it never expires. There's no penalty for being approved. And it kind of gives us a little bit more credibility when we talk to other people. Hey, we've already been approved for a DOT grant. And we asked them about, one of the options was the bridge over the lake, you know, on the pylons, because that's gonna be hefty. In terms of construction costs and making sure those concrete pillars are structurally sound, except, and then there's utility lines on the north side. Anyway, it's gonna take a lot of, and that might be something we want to utilize that grant money for, to do all that engineering. But since it doesn't expire, we can hold on to it for 25 years if we want, is what the DOT grant people
How
told us.
much money are we looking?
Well, the grant is for 350,000, where Tallulah Falls has to come up with 20%, $70,000. So they're giving us, what is it, 250? No, do the math there.
350 is what the grant. was
Yeah,
approved
minus
for.
20%.
And then we got, well, no, yeah,
Plus,
Yes, the total is 350. 20% of that is ours. So 70,000 is ours.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. So it's just a tool in our toolkit, and since there's no penalty for holding on to it, why not? There may be a point where we really need that. And my apologies, the grant lady sent an email. I said, no, we're gonna sit on it for a while. And then she sent another, said, well, if you need anything, let me know. And then she sent a third one, which I thought was just kind of an auto resend, and I didn't read it, but she asked some question that I didn't respond to. And that final one, I dropped the ball on, so sorry, I thought it was just
Things happen,
well, I assumed it's like,
but it's a great kickoff point to at least bring it back up, bring it to y'all's attention, let you know that there's still movement out there, there's still stuff going on, so they're not blindsided when we come back and say, hey, we need $70,000.
and just a side note on that, there is the nonprofit that has been established, the Friends of Northeast Georgia. Susan is on the board of that, along with Bill Turk, who is one of our TDA members. And that organization is strictly the fundraising arm. So there's no need to freak out about the 70,000. There is this entity, and when all of this talk about getting the grant and getting this all going again, one of the big things was, we need a nonprofit. The DDA stepped in, to receive some money that was pledged right away. So we received that. We have now turned that money over to this nonprofit. And like I said, that nonprofit is set up as the fundraising arm, and the nonprofit, the board feels confident. I think I'm in the right place to say, feel confident in raising the funds that are necessary, because this project does have a broad range of support. And the nonprofit is essentially set up with members from Habersham County. Okay, and So
And there
there's
are
some
people-
really positive things moving
I mean,
forward.
there are people that have the connections, the business savvy and so forth to bring in that outside interest that would benefit from something like a project like this. So they see the value of it.
Yeah.
And can promote that.
And you know, as we said last at the budget session, of course, the DEA and this project would like to have some money from the town. But this is in place to go after the big one. So, you know, that 70, I think it was 20%.
Yeah,
70,000, right? That does not have to come, that will not be coming from the town.
No,
We do, like I said. Do not know that. Y'all. Anyway, that's where that's at.
Thank you. So do y'all have
Thank
any,
you.
council have any other questions or? I know Greg's in on a lot of these conversations already, so there's no shock to him.
Can I say something about our meeting this week? It's not, no, that's not. Public comments, public comments, sorry.
That's whatever, you can go ahead and do it now.
We had a meeting with, a landscape architect, trail design company. So after all that debate with the Georgia Department of Transportation, we've got a landscape architect that will do the trail design from the short line trail, or the end of the short line trail south. It'll encompass about 5 to 6 miles. They're gonna do it for $17,000. We also want them to incorporate, Craig's done a whole bunch of work with the safety corridor and pedestrian, what are you calling it exactly? Safety corridor in,
Yeah, safety corridor, but it's, that's separate though.
okay,
I got a separate proposal coming in on it.
okay. Anyway, so they came, we had, Georgia Power, the Department of Natural Resources, State Park, we had like the big players at the meeting. They got to review all the plans.
It's the first time a lot of the people were there, so they're finally getting an idea of what's going on. They're not feeling blindsided, so they know what's up now.
Yeah, it was good. It was
Pretty
very-
clear meeting, so
Um,
just let all the stakeholders know what's going on.
Next step is that the trail designer, we're gonna go out and walk and look at the scenery or the site is what I'm trying to say. So, but anyway, it was finally something.
So that's, yes, that's an update.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you.
All right. We'll go ahead and move on.
Yeah.
The Firewise grant. Item, Mark Wiles from the DNR was gonna be here tonight. He reached out to me with an offer for a $2,000 grant. A little bit of history on this is that, I want to say 7 or 8 years ago, we applied for a Firewise grant, about $5,000. We spent money in pursuit of that grant, and then we never received repayment. So that soured the Firewise, the grant program in my mouth, as at the time I was fire chief. And I was like, yeah, I'm not gonna pursue that anymore. I don't wanna go through that. You know, go through all this headache to get everything going. We have to do the project, we have to pay for everything. And then we're done with the project and I can't get money, so we essentially lost $5,000. I told Mark that we had met fairly recently about something unrelated, but it's still Firewise. I mentioned it to him, he said, well, let me look into it. He found out, yes, they had dropped the ball. So he was trying to find a way for us to get recouped for some of that. And he reached out and said he had $2,000 for me. But I said, okay, that's fine. If we can apply it, he says, do you have any projects coming up? I was like, no, not really. But we did just do some clearing behind the rock house. So he was gonna come in and present that concept, see if you guys would be willing to accept that $2,000. But he called me today. I haven't had a chance to call him back and left him a message saying he needed pictures. He would prefer pictures of before and after. I don't have any pictures of before. And the after may or may not meet his requirements. So I need to contact him. So there's really not much more on that item. We just threw it on there because he said he might show up tonight. All right, and then we'll, so let's go ahead and, move on to our council meeting calendar. Jimmy had mentioned that he has conflicts, I believe yearly, is that correct, Jimmy?
Say again?
You have certain conflicts that you can't avoid every year that we need to adjust for our council meetings? Notably,
If you can, that would help.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
If you can, that would help. Yeah, I'm running into an issue with, I believe in November, I have another school trip where I'm required to be in charge of. And then there was one other day in, October. Yeah, it was those 2 months.
Okay, so we need to move the October 17th and the November 7th to another day?
Those are the projected change dates.
Oh, okay, never mind. So if we moved our meeting to October 17th and November 7th, that would eliminate those conflicts?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, how are you guys with that change?
I'm good.
I'm working with y'all.
Can't schedule it far ahead.
All right. Okay, let's, just to make it official, let's make a motion, make those changes. Scott makes the motion. Craig seconds, all in favor, unanimous, and Jimmy's probably
In
abstaining.
favor.
All right,
Yeah.
he'll be in favor or he'll abstain, whichever. All right, mayor's comments, do want to kind of bring up, I know it's those of you who've read through the agenda, there's a gorilla in the room on the water issue.
Yeah.
It's getting progressively worse. So I'm not sure how to proceed exactly. You see in the report that, that I broke that out where I know where the majority. Okay, so for those that aren't familiar, we have 3 areas in our water system. So we get from Demorest that goes into our big tank, 60,000 gallon tank, and that feeds down to basically this area. Then we have a line that goes like Gorge View to feed a tank at the end of Gorge View. That tank feeds Gorge View and Hickory Nut Mountain. So section 1 would be the 60,000 gallon tank down here. Section 2 is Gorge View. Section 3 is Hickory Nut Mountain. All right, so as we're talking about this, Hickory Nut Mountains lost 400,000 gallons last month. And I don't know, I'm not sure how to isolate. I don't know exactly how to proceed on trying to figure out where these are. I have reached out to Georgia Rural Water. They said they will help us.
We need to get somebody.
They need to- I think we need to-
hire, get a proposal, hire an independent company, come up and take care of it, because we're losing. I mean, last year, how much money did we lose over 12 months? Quite a bit, enough to certainly pay for
I
that.
mean, whatever it costs us, it's gonna be, we'll be.
And we've also-
Yeah, we're paying for water now.
We've also allocated money already for this,
Yeah,
right, by pushing most of our funds that we received toward. And we have a water division, pipe division, our company, that's the conflict of interest, but I can ask Byron for some recommendations up here and get like 3 or 4. Different, hopefully, out of 3 or 4 companies, you might get 2 bids or whatever price of the proposal.
Right.
Let's go have them inspect the lines, do the pothole, they can hydro back, go down through there and put temporary. Meters in where they needed to isolate where this 400,000 gallon leak is.
Yeah.
Just for example, Hickory Nut only uses. How much did we bill on Hickory Nut? Daniel?
it should be in there.
Yeah, so
46.
46,000, right?
Yeah.
We billed 46,000,
Yeah.
lost 400,000
That's a
gallons.
huge
Yeah.
loss.
You know, one other thing in regards to a conflict of interest, if he abstains, why couldn't we get a quote from that company?
Well, I'm gonna just get advice from Byron. It's a separate company. It's not Northwood Concrete, but we're sister companies in GP and GC. I'm gonna get him to tell me it's got the right way to do it. go find it. And,
It'd only be, really only,
well, I'm not worried about that. I don't mind going to get someone else. Does American do that type of stuff?
huh?
American,
They do some of it,
they aren't big enough to try.
but I don't know that he has the personnel to dedicate
Yeah, I got
to
it.
something in this.
A
day.
big
'Cause
job.
this is a big job
Yeah.
in my, just,
And
I
work
may be
every day.
overthinking it, but I think this is gonna be like weeks worth of work. I can't imagine they're gonna find all this in one day.
Yeah, well, along with that, then we'll also have the mapping. done.
That will help with the mapping.
Yeah,
Well, the leak from the tank going up, and it'll help with the mapping going up, right? But you'd have to have someone still surveying.
Yeah, we'll have to do that section. I'd.
But if they're in here to
highly
do it, I mean, they could locate it.
I highly doubt the leak's gonna be in there, but we do need to
Do
search.
you think it's from the top of the mountain down?
I think it is.
Well, that you don't really need to locate. We're just gonna go right away. It's pretty easy. Repetition. But
well,
the backcountry line.
but again, for that document that we had with our case, we were gonna specify where that line was. And not just say it was a right.
Yeah, well, we can do that through Georgia Rural Water. We can get that located. That's,
We talked about Georgia Rural Water for 2 months now.
Yeah.
And nothing's happened.
I reached out to them after our last meeting. They said they'd definitely help us with it, but I haven't heard, I didn't hear back from them before this meeting, so.
If you don't mind, I'm gonna go talk to Byron and see if I can get some names of people that do this, see if they'll give us a proposal and come look at it. And just get it moving forward, period. It doesn't mean we're doing anything, it just means we're getting some numbers to figure out what we need to do. So we just need to do it. We've talked about it, beat it down the trail 15, all last year, whole year.
Yeah.
It's done beating it down the trail. Let's go.
So we had 567,000 gallons lost at $4 and something cents a gallon, thousand per thousand. So we're bleeding money pretty hard right now. And we're gonna have to supplement this out of our general fund. There's no other way to handle this. We do have some surplus, but I don't want, stop. We need to not be relying on. Yeah, let's,
So
I'd say we need to
next
get-
meeting, we'll have a decision made. Get some more.
I'd like to have some bids and figure out what we need to do so we know where we're going.
That's 400,000 gallons. That's an emergency.
And Gary will
That's
be
not
here.
something you wait around and let it happen.
Gary will be here by the end of this month. And he can definitely help with, that's the biggest concern is how do I can't dedicate my time to help guide and direct where these people need to be going, but Gary can. So the timing on this is just about right, although we have waited way too long to really address
I
this.
mean, if you get the right company, they should be able to just come in and do it.
This is true.
Well, we need someone that can tell them where the lines are, where to start looking, because I mean, you can start hydrovacing out of bluegrass and finding the water lines.
Well,
So.
but we have a map. Sometimes.
Sort of.
I know.
Yeah. So. So, but yeah, but with Gary being in town, that will help because then if he should know most of it already and be able to help with them. So that'll help a lot. Yeah, that's, that was astonishing to me when I ran through those numbers, getting ready for this. And
Why are our overflows so high?
the overflows this month were high because I was out of town. And I really didn't have anyone that understood the system in place enough to make minor adjustments on a day-to-day basis. Chris helped out, our Officer Sullivan. He did help out. I noticed that we had a big drop all of a sudden. And I said, hey, Chris, go turn that on. And he went up and he flipped some switches, he did some stuff. And but rather than call him every day and say, hey, I need you to take this much off here and put that much on there and open this valve this much, I just said, we'll let it overflow until I get back. So.
Would a SCADA system allow you to do that remotely?
To some degree, yes, and I've already installed one that I built myself. That's controlled by I can control the pumps on boards. By logging into the website, and I can tell it, send a message on or off, and I've been doing this, been great. So I'll put an extra hour of runtime in here, an extra hour, I need to do, in fact, I need to do 2 hours tonight. But I can do that, I can just turn it on and I set a timer on my phone and then log back in and turn it off. More advanced SCADA systems would do much better, but they're pretty pricey. What I put together is about $200. So. I need to create another one that we can tie into it. That works off of the float switch in that 20,000 gallon tank. And that would eliminate me needing to tell it how much time to do it. It would just go on demand and then turn off on. So I just need to build it.
I'm just curious, so, on Tulum Falls School main campus, if you go up past the cell phone tower, are you familiar with where the cell phone tower is on the, and there's a water tank there, is that really, that's different?
That's.
Okay. I was just. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, the school, essentially, except with the exception of Hickory Nut Mountain, anyone on the Habersham County side that has city water has Demorest water directly, don't get water from us. The Raven County side. It's just kind of in this area
Outside of the top there.
Uh-huh.
is Raven County side and some of the Hickory Nut residents on the Habersham side get water on this side of the Demorest. So. Yeah, I'm sure Demorest is gonna be happy with it. Our agreement with them really is up to 500,000, the emergency was our original agreement. But we shouldn't be using 500,000 a month anyway. So. All right, so I just threw that into mayor's comments. I really didn't have anything else to comment on. We did have some paving done. Taken care of. We've had a few other items come through. We got the rock house ready for. I need to get a few more documents put together to put it out for bid. And need to get some real field dimensions off of the building. Submit that to a guy who's drawings for us, so we can submit out to bid what we want to do. And we got the parking area cleared out and rocked, and it's ready for contractors. So get those bids we'll put out for bid and get back to you guys and get an approval hopefully the next couple of months. It would be nice. Still waiting for the survey on River Street to come in, and we want to see a clear line of where the property line is on at least one side of it. That's all I've got. So I'll open the floor to public comment.
Well, speaking of River Street, and I've been thinking about the public safety corridor here in town. Is there some way at some point that public safety corridor could continue down River Street?
It can, we need to get this survey done.
Okay. So are we gonna wait?
There's thoughts and meetings on putting protection rail up, widening the road. You know, obviously the trail's gonna go down to that side. Eventually, that would be the overall goal, if you brought it across the bridge. So, yeah, we're thinking ahead, but we've got to get certain things done.
Yeah, we don't,
So this,
We don't want to make plans on something that we don't own.
oh, absolutely not.
Survey is first thing.
and I've spoken with our surveyor and I said, what I really want is this one area especially, there's a pretty straight line. And I want to be able to see the states from one state to the next.
Yeah.
Instead of right now, I can't find any of the states, so. Yeah, so I want to be able to see those and then we won't be able, I'll go ahead and put this out there. I don't think we're gonna be able to put a foot or bike path in on River Street in that one section, especially in front of Michelle's and Grant's. So we will probably have to go up over go up over the hill there, kind of divert off to the side to go around.
Well,
That's why we really need to know where that line is. Because it's gonna be close in that area. So.
You know, because I mean, yes, there's a thought of the rails to trails, but you know, I also feel like that we need to be thinking about the influx of people that are gonna be staying out there at the end of the road. And we really want to give them the opportunity to walk.
Yeah.
Instead
That
of
would be-
driving, you know, to town.
To come into the general store or anything else, say
Yeah.
to stuff like that. Yeah. you better
And
have
go
foot
to
traffic.
the park, that, you know, just so that they have ways to travel about town without getting in their car, because.
Yeah, because I think that was one of the issues brought up during that whole process was the increased motor traffic. When we had travel, this would definitely help eliminate that
Oh, absolutely.
or reduce it. Bike, footpath, whatever.
We'll be able to make plans, we just need to get a survey.
I'm just gonna get that survey done.
Actually,
Then we can make plans and talk to the public about it, see how it is.
sounds good.
We have a history of that stuff not on our property, so
We don't need.
we're not gonna do that.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Learned our lesson.
Yes, very good. Okay, thank you.
Yeah,
All right. Any other public comments? Questions? All right, we do not need executive session this month, so I'll go ahead and ask for a motion to adjourn. Craig makes the motion, Mike seconds. All in
I
favor?
second.
Unanimous.
Unanimous.
There we go. All right, thank you, thanks Jimmy for being able to participate.
Thank y'all. I appreciate, great job, Linda, accommodating me. Appreciate it.
Big win.
I